So look, I love New Jersey. I love New York. I love being right next to the Northeast and all the construction and everything. It's great. It's just, the thing is, shooting car videos in the winter is just one of my least favorite things. It's one of the hardest things to do, but we're gonna do it anyway for this thing right here. This is the Polestar 3, and I was waiting to check this out. I'd seen a lot of these new Polestars coming out, and I've checked them out in the past, and I've really liked them. And this one, similar to the last video, like I said, is in that category that's really crowded, the mid-size crossover. Why would anybody buy your mid-size crossover? But now that I've tested this one, I really like this one, but there are a few weird things about it. It's actually amazing how far the highest highs and the lowest lows are from each other in this thing. I'm also glad that this is an electric car, so it'll be nice and warm and cozy when I get inside. It's waiting for me. But we gotta show you the outside first. So this is the Polestar 3. This SUV is gonna start at around $67,000, but that would be for the single motor lowest end one, and you can spec them right up all the way into the 80,000s. And this is the performance spec. This is dual motor, all-wheel drive, really top tier trim. And I think it looks phenomenal. Actually, they do a lot of this print stuff with Polestar, so you can see the specs right on the side. There you go, 111 kilowatt hour battery. But design-wise, I love it. First of all, this is a sloping, low roof line, much lower than, the Acura we just saw, and a lot of other cars in this segment have higher roof lines, so you would think that headroom would be a concern, but we'll get inside in a second. You'll see it's not, which is great. You've got these big diamond cut wheels, yellow brake calipers, and then the front design I think is really nice. If I was designing an EV that had to be aerodynamic but still has angular elements, this has got it. So you see these sort of lines and dots and the text thing that they do, but also this here is a wing, fully functional front wing on the Polestar 3. This is creating downforce, and that sort of smooths the air over the top of the car, again with this low roof line, to this rear wing. And this is also fully functional aero. There's not a lot that I don't like about what they did with this car. I think some people might not like this one little kind of cheesy looking piece at the back, but that is still functional for aerodynamics. You've got this tail light bar back here that I also think looks good. Again, pretty low roof line. But in general, I like the look of this. This car's design is nice. It's got a lot of bars, a lot of thin lines, your blinkers, your headlights. Good stuff, even a good color. I think honestly it's cold. Hey guys. Oh God, hi. The best compliment that I can give a car, I think, is that this is how I would have designed it. Like this, if I was designing a car, this is what I would have done. And I love that about a lot of pieces of this car. But geez, we should just get inside because number one, that's a little much for me. But also number two, it's freezing. Also point out right here, really thin bezels on the mirrors. It's a subtle thing. And then this is the key card, which you actually, fun fact, you would normally think to tap it right here. This is the sensitive spot for the key card to lock and unlock the Polestar 3. If you tap it here, nothing happens. Got to tap it over here. So the door handles come out from being flush. You pop it open there and you get inside, and now we are warm and cozy in the driver's seat, and that's where the key goes. So this interior, again, strikes a lot of balance between the world of like Tesla, the super, super minimal, screens and nothing else being features inside the car, and actually having nice materials. It still leans a little bit too far towards the minimalism, and I'll show you why in a second. But look at this angle right here. Just this, right? You've got a nice black headrest with that nice text right there, super thin font, heated and cooled seats, and the nice bright yellow seat belts. I think that is sick. That is a great look. These are very comfortable seats. You can see them. They have adjustments, so this sort of thigh support comes out as well. The whole theme of the entire car is sort of black and yellow, and it's consistent, so the HUD is up there, but you also have a screen behind the steering wheel, and then you have this single screen in the center. But you do still have manual HVAC controls, and they're kind of nice looking. You've got this dry wood and a bunch of different materials around the cabin. This sort of opens up here, and you can see this one central piece of storage. This is more open than it was in the Volvo, but I still don't think, I'm never using this storage. What is this for? A water bottle? What is it? Who puts things back here? I don't know. It's kind of hidden. but 2 USB-C ports back there. And then you've got the center, which is your volume knob and play pause, which is a nice little, single physical element there. This is, again, 1 wireless charger, not 2, but you put your phone sideways here, or you put your key card there. And then you got your 2 cup holders. So this is the inside of the Polestar 3. And then, okay, this is, again, just a tiny bit too digital, right? So these are all sort of unlabeled soft buttons on the steering wheel, but you press them and they sort of activate things inside the car. And when you're driving, you put your hand on that part of the steering wheel and it tells you what it's going to do when you press it. So I pressed my finger on the bottom one right there. It says, oh, that's going to be able to change your menus and views. If you press your finger on the top one, that's your voice assistant, which is the G word, voice assistant. So it kind of tries to tell you what it's going to do before you actually press it because they're unlabeled buttons. I don't like this though. They decided to only do 1 set of window controls and then you hit that button to do the back windows. So only 1 set and then a capacitive button. That's like a money-saving measure thing that I don't love about it. So it's crazy. My take is that this interior, this car in general, is amazing. And it's amazing because how could one car have so many awesome design elements? This thin bar right here, this awesome black and white contrast and the stitching and all of this stuff. How could it have all that awesome stuff and then also have like gloss black here and cheap out on a window and like do all these things? Like this glove box only opens with a button on the touchscreen. There's no handle. There's no way to open it other than a button on the touchscreen. That's amazing that one car could have so many great design choices and also have such poor design choices. Here's some other little things, right? These are the stalks behind the steering wheel. A little bit of gloss, that's okay, but listen to the ping when you hit park. That's nice. That's a nice feeling. That's just a tiny little thing, but the click there when you hit park. Also over here, those are your front and rear windshield wipers, and you can see if I hit that rear windshield wiper that it's a nice thin bezeled mirror as well. Got the sunroof over our heads. You can pick that as an electrochromic option as well if you want to. And then I gotta say something. These speakers. Okay, this is a Bowers & Wilkins system. You can see the tweeter up front. That's your first clue. This is a nice system, right? You've got big speakers up here, bigger speakers down here, got woofers behind you. Even this headrest, it says Bowers & Wilkins on it, which is a good clue, but this is also a speaker behind your head. This is, I'm tempted to say, it's either the second best or the best speaker system I have ever heard in a car, period. Period. The one I'm thinking of that's maybe neck and neck with it is the one from the Maybach that I talked about in that video. And the Maybach costs way more than this, obviously. This is an amazing speaker system. It has Dolby Atmos support. It has a whole bunch of EQ settings that you can change about it. But even straight out the box, Bluetooth connected to my phone, I'll finish a drive and I'll hit park and I will sit in this car and finish listening to the song before going inside. That's how good the speakers are. And of course, it's a quiet car as well. There's great acoustic isolation from the outside, but amazing speakers. Okay, backseat experience does matter too. And this is the part where you think, okay, maybe this sloping roofline is gonna be compromising a little bit. It'd be totally valid to think that, but I got inside, and I'll move these nice little cushiony back pillows out the way. This is also pretty nice. So the floor is a little bit high, so you can see there's like a gap. I've got my knees kind of higher off the ground than usual, but legroom is plenty, and headroom is plenty. It's kind of amazing that they fit 100+ kilowatt-hour battery underneath me, and they've got the seats low enough that there is no problem with headroom at all. And then you still have this nice aesthetic, this black and white, so the thin LED lines, there's LED lights all throughout the car. You obviously have your window stuff, your huge speakers back here. You have your HVAC controls and your heated rear seats. And if you want that back pillow, you got it. But again, the neck pillow, the black and white aesthetic, the orange seat belts. I'm such a fan of just the general design of this car. Here's one weird flaw though, and it could be worse. It could be worse, right? But the armrest is in the middle here. and you do get hidden cup holders there, which is nice. But the pass-through to the trunk, which some cars don't have, but this one does, is tiny. When you open that up, that's the pass-through. So you could fit, what, some golf clubs through there, maybe? Kind of an odd, tiny little thing. But yeah, in general, they didn't really miss too much in the back seat. Here you go. Hold that down. And that works. So golf clubs, 2 sets of golf clubs, all the groceries you want, and sub-trunk. Nice. So this is an advantage over like something like the ZDX we just saw, which is this is a ground-up EV that has a little bit more space than your typical electric car. So really happy to see that. You also can, of course, use that privacy shield. So it's got all the general practicalities of a crossover. It's got all the aesthetics you could possibly want. How does it drive? That's the last question. I'm going to get back inside so I don't freeze my face off while I talk about driving. But this is the performance-oriented one, and it does drive really nicely. So first of all, the Polestar 3 is on air suspension in the higher-end trims. It is not in the single-motor trim, but this is on the air suspension, and it totally makes up for the huge wheels and rides really well. And with the dual motors, it is a pretty decent performer as far as acceleration. It'll do 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, but again, I wouldn't let that number fool you into thinking it's not quick. It's very quick. But we also kind of have to pair this performance talk with all of this here. This UI, this is the only input device in the car. It's just a center screen right here, other than these unlabeled buttons. So anything you want to change about the car settings while you're driving, you have to go through this instead of physical buttons. In order to change the performance modes in the car, and you can see the performance thing right here, and this always has the performance button right here, but then I have to go to settings and then drive to access all the rest of the performance stuff. So you can turn on sport traction, you can turn on creep or turn off creep. But if I want to change the suspension to standard, which is a nice little softer suspension versus firm, that's 3 clicks away instead of just a single like mode switch. The performance button that's always down here at the bottom all the time, that is going back and forth just between the drive performance, where'd it go? Power delivery setting. So performance is the fastest. That is all-wheel drive all the time, full power, full traction, always available. The range setting, which you can switch it to at any time, essentially decouples the front and rear motors, and it makes it only a front-wheel drive car for the most part. So if you don't need a whole bunch of power, it should be totally fine. You drive around town, you're cruising on the highway, front-wheel drive all the time, maximum efficiency. That is the lower powered motor. And so that should give you the most range. Unfortunately, this car does not have that much range. Again, it's kind of amazing that it can do all of that. It can decouple the front and rear motors. And even if you stab the accelerator, it takes about 0.7 seconds to re-engage the rear motor and give you all of the power back. But even with all that tech, the range in this car is not that great. This dual motor version will give you about 270 miles of range on 100% charge. Wish it was more. But that's fine. In performance mode, awesome straight line acceleration, awesome handling. If you harken back to the Polestar 2 BST I reviewed, it's kind of awesome what they're able to do with these cars. But then, yeah, you have to deal with all of this touchscreen stuff, which I think looks really nice, but is not the most functional. Again, the glove box is the touchscreen button. I think that says a lot about what they're doing with the software of this car. You can log into Spotify, you can do all the Dolby Atmos stuff, you can sort of rearrange these most frequently used apps at the bottom. But yeah, this is one of the things you'll have to get used to if you use this car, which is some things are several clicks away. If I want to turn on seat heating, it's two clicks away instead of one. Instead of just having a button somewhere, it's 2 clicks. If I want to adjust the fan speed, there is no fan adjustment. I have to go in here and then change fan speed here, or change where the air is blowing manually here, and do this while you're driving. I don't want to do that while I'm driving. So yeah, the Google stuff works great. And if you navigate somewhere that's out of the range of the car, it'll stop at a charger and tell you how long to charge. It'll do all that great stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. It is really beautifully designed, but not the most functional thing in the world. And that's basically the story of the Polestar 3. I'm, at the end of the day, it's kind of like I have a crush on this car, but I know it's not for me. Like I haven't seen that many EVs with a front wing like that right there, or the sloping roofline, or the rear wing. I think that's awesome. The design elements of this car are all great. If I designed a car, it would look a lot like this, but then it has this weak range. It has this kind of a fitsy UI that's not super intuitive. It's missing some physical buttons. And the speakers are incredible, but I just don't want to drive this car for road trips. So yeah, it's a tough one. I like a lot of things about it. It's amazing, but that gap is crazy. Keep working on it though, Polestar, please. Please don't stop working on these. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.